Welcome back. If you just joined us watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. The president visits victims from Friday night's bomb blasts in Yaya and Kuje, promises to investigate attack. Calm returns fully to Kuje and Yaya after bomb blasts, but heavy security presence still visible at the scenes of the incidents. Former Petroleum Minister Diezani Alison Madueke may return tomorrow to the Magistrates Court in London over money laundering charges. And Syrian President Bashar al-Assad criticizes US-led coalition and airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. Please remember that all our top stories can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channels, where we can watch our videos. You can also log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. It's a lot easier when you download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. We also urge you to interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature and the Channels TV app on the Android, iOS and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, please tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Calm has returned to the scenes of the blasts in Abuja, but when Channels Television visited the site, security personnel were still guarding the place as it remains cordoned off. 15 people have been confirmed dead from the blast in Kuje markets and in Yaya, while over 40 people were wounded.
This is the exact spot in Kuje where a bomb exploded 2 days ago, killing innocent citizens. The heavy downpour has washed off almost every trace of the tragedy. However, there are still telltale signs that show a horrific incident happened here. A badly burnt motorcycle, abandoned fruits and foodstuff, personal belongings littered the streets, a police tape still cordons off the area, heavy security presence, and most of all, an eerie stillness in the air. Mr. Nuruwada sells provisions right in front of the market. He was around the market when the bomb went off. Mr. Musa is also a trader at the Kuje market. He narrates what happened that night.
To lokacin da zan dawo ban karasa inda abin ya tashi ba, wani aboki na tsaye da ne yake cewa zan siyo katako gobe idan Allah ya kai mu in buga mai benci na zama. To a wannan lokacin akwai wani aboki na kuma wanda ya dafa min kafaɗa, haka muna tare da shi. Sai na ji fashewan abu amma ban san ko menene ba. Lokacin da na abin ya fashe, na dauki hannuna da duma ta na daura aka na fita da gudu, ban ma san inda na nufa ba.
In other parts of Kuje, residents could be seen going about their businesses, but away from the site of the explosion. 20 people were killed on Friday night in a twin bomb blast in Abuja, the capital city. The horrific incident has once again shaken residents. And for a city which has not completely recovered after the bomb blast in Yanya and Emma Plaza last year, this is one tragedy too many. Linda Kibi, Channels Television News.
And our thoughts and prayers with families of victims of the blast. Now, the Nigerian police has warned all members of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra and its affiliates to desist from any activity or pronouncements that will cause a breach of the peace and public order in any state in the southeast. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 9, Usman Gwari, read the riot act in Owerri, the Imo State capital, during a one-day familiarization tour of the police command in the state. He said the police will not tolerate criminality in the southeast.
This is the first time the AIG, Usman Gwari, will be visiting the Imo State Police Command in his capacity as Assistant Inspector General of Police, and is here to get acquainted with the men and officers of the command. In his welcome address, the Commissioner of Police in Imo State, Taiwo Lakunu, enumerated some of the achievements of the command within the few weeks he's taken over as Commissioner of Police in the state.
It's worthy of note that these crime prevention strategies to a large extent, have yielded tremendous positive results, with the arrest of more than 9 kidnapped suspects, 17 armed robbery gangs, 8 cultists, busting of child trafficking gangs, and recovery of sold babies, recovery of many locally made guns, and catchment of ammunition as well as stolen vehicles. More so, within the past 3 weeks of assumption of duty, we have rescued 8 kidnapped victims on horse through tactically coordinated operations. Can we give him a resounding hand of applause?
While addressing the men and officers of the command, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 9, Usman Gwari, addressed issues bordering on activities of MASOB members and related organizations, community policing, and the attitude and action of officers as it relates to their work as staff of the Nigerian police force.
Respect the civil laws and then respect the government. You cannot come out and begin to abuse and then create problem as if you are on your own, as if there are no laws. We will not fold our hands to see lawless people trying to disturb the public peace. Of course, this will not be accepted.
The police say structures are in place to deal with any group or persons that violates these set rules and regulations, all in a bid to enforce the law in the southeast and reduce crime to its barest minimum.
There seems to be a crack within the People's Democratic Party in Delta State with the defection of some people considered to be political heavyweights from PDP to the All Progressives Congress. Although many see this as an aftermath of the party's loss of power at the federal level, the PDP says that those alleged to have defected are not active members of the party.
The decampees and their supporters are officially received into the fold of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, by its state's chairman.
And Chakiri need peace, and the whole country need peace to develop, and the only party that can give me adequate peace at the moment is APC.
For me, even though I was a commissioner in Delta State, as PDP, I have been a progressive. The decampees.
According to the former South-South Zone Organizing Secretary of the PDP, this move by these numbers is definitely good for the party, as they have never been active members of the PDP.
The essential thing is the decampees. They have come, they have gone, particularly going to another party, which for us is a welcome development, because it would have been bad where you have people that claim to be party faithfuls, they are with you and working against you. But now that they have come out openly to leave the party, for us in the party is a very good development for us, and we are not worried about their decamping, particularly when they were not instrumental to the growth and stability and development of the party.
This may not be a good sign for the People's Democratic Party, but the expectation is that the party puts its house in order to prevent more people from leaving.
The Kogi State chapter of the Nigeria Union of Teachers has appealed to the state governments to make welfare of its primary school teachers a matter of priority, helping it recover lost glory to the basic education in the state. The state's chairman of the NUT, Comrade Sulaiman Abdullahi, made this appeal while addressing teachers in Lokoja ahead of the World Teachers' Day coming up tomorrow, October 5th. He also stated that education will continue to face setbacks if the job of teachers is not made attractive in society.
These protests by teachers in Kogi State is part of a struggle towards achieving the objective. But the pains of those events appears not to have made any impact, as they are still advocating for an improvement in welfare. The strategy may have changed this time, but the message remains the same.
Teachers are the front-line workers of the education system. They are responsible for engaging students and promoting their learning. They discharge their duties diligently. Yet, when it comes to remuneration, they are made to go through harrowing experiences. Today, the devotion of the teacher to duty is doubtful. This is so because the impetus for devotion is completely absent. It is the teacher that is being owed several years of leave grant. It is the teacher that is being owed several years of unimplemented promotions. It is the teacher that is being owed several years of unpaid annual incremental. It is the teacher that is being owed several years of unimplemented minimum wage. Yet we expect dedication and devotion to duty from the teacher.
What makes this more interesting is that the teachers may not have the ball in their courts, as the politicians vying for the top position in the state need their votes. A situation where the options will be diligently scrutinized.
There are 5 contestants on the go now. And for all these 5 contestants, we know their antecedents. And we know who they are. They are not new to us in this state. Is that clear? And having said that, we are going to appropriately arrange to extract commitment from them as far as teachers are concerned. But let me tell you one thing. The union will not tell teachers the direction to vote, but the antecedent of your handwork will tell whether teachers will vote for you.
The annual celebration of teachers worldwide comes up on the 5th of October. And as these teachers make their demands known, the silent fear is that whoever emerges victorious at the polls does not brush up promises, but make sure all talk is put into positive action.
Some Fulani chiefs in the southwest, under the aegis of Miite Ala Cattle Breeders Association, have appealed to the Afenifere to cooperate with them in finding a lasting solution to the perennial clashes between herdsmen and farmers in the country. The remarks were made today by the Sarking Fulani in Lagos, Alhaji Mohammed Bambado, at a press briefing to address some critical issues arising from the recent kidnap of Chief Olufalaye. The Fulani leaders also called on the government to support cattle rearers set up ranches.
Some Fulani chiefs in the southwest of the country, alongside cattle breeders, are gathered to discuss ways of dealing with issues relating to insecurity, frequent clashes between Fulani herdsmen and farmers. This is coming on the heels of the recent kidnap of Chief Olufalaye by supposed Fulani cattle rearers, and a subsequent call for better regulation of activities of herdsmen in the southwest.
The appeal I want to make is to government to immediately take steps to regulate cattle rearing in Nigeria. Let the cattle owners who are big businessmen invest in their own business, acquire land as much as they need, and confine their cattle and have ranches so that they don't bother me and I don't bother them.
While addressing the press, the Sarking Fulani in Lagos, Alhaji Mohammed Bambado, condemned the criminal act of kidnapping or any form of threat to lives and property, but was quick to say caution must be taken in handling such sensitive issue bordering on grazing and nomadic pastoralism.
We are appealing to our Yoruba brothers, particularly the Afenifere brethren, to please cooperate and work with us so that we can have a lasting solution to the perennial clashes between Fulani headmen and farmers in Nigeria. Nomadic grazing and cattle rearing is a prominent and permanent socio-cultural and socio-economic means of survival of a Fulani man. To stop this cultural trade and means of survival of centuries old, it is like bringing the Fulani clan into extinction.
They also called on government to support ranching as a way of dealing with this issue of perennial clashes between herdsmen and farmers.
We know the advanced country, they deal with ranching. This is what we inherited. Moving from one pasture, moving from one place to the other. We are coming to become a ranchers too. But it's a gradual process. When the facilities are not there, how do we become ranchers? Like the elder statement that they kidnapped. He said everybody should go and acquire land. How many people will surrender their lands for this cattle production without the effort of government?
With government resolved to keep agriculture viable in the country, it requires, therefore, that stakeholders must work in an atmosphere of peace to accelerate growth. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
When the News at 10 returns, World Pensions Summit holds in Abuja tomorrow. That's in a moment. Please join us again.